Let the assembly say, praise Yahweh. At this time, I ask that we all stand as we go into prayer. Abba Yahweh, we told you for this day. Abba Yahweh, we told you for just being there every step of the way in our lives. Abba Yahweh, continue to cleanse these vessels. Abba Yahweh, don't let your Ruach depart us. Abba Yahweh, continue to fill us more and more with your Ruach. Create in us a clean live to walk this way of life and to do your will at all times. Abba Yahweh, continue to give us the strength like your messengers of old, your prophets of old, that Emunah, just like your prophets of old, Abba Yahweh, as we go through these last days, as wickedness intensifies in this world, Abba Yahweh, give us the strength to continue to stand and not fall in the day of adversity. Abba Yahweh, continue to show us that beautiful light that lies ahead, that light that leads to your salvation, that leads to your kingdom. Abba Yahweh, have your people to continue to walk in that straight and narrow path in order to make it to see that very bright light that was there from the very beginning. And Abba Yahweh, have our conduct in such a way that you will be pleased with us in judgment day. You will be pleased with us and welcome us with open arms into your kingdom and say, well done, my good and faithful servants. Enter now into thine rest. And in Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
House of Israel, you may be seated. So say once again, Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. And Shabbat Shalom, all that are tuning in on the live stream. I always have to say this, but it's always tough to just come out and see your faces once again. Just always being in the world with people that are not of the like mind. People that are doing the opposite of what Yahweh commands. Just being in a house of people that are striving to do the same thing you are doing. That is very pleasing to be amongst people like that. I know you all feel the same way. And it's a sense of shalom that comes upon you when you dwell with Yahweh's people. So I hope all of you all had a tough week.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I guess that means you did. Hallelujah. So this evening, this message I want to go into is about how the nations always rise up against Israel. And these last days, it's just going to intensify more and more. See, when you stand up for the truth, when you stand up to do Yahweh's will, you always going to have somebody that's going to rise up and go up against you. No matter be somebody on the live stream, somebody you conversing with in the world, it can be anybody. But every time you bring up Yahweh's word, you're going to have somebody that's going to go against, somebody that want to fight against you and argue against you. So, like I said, don't see that strange that they coming up against you every time you bring up the truth. Because you could say something foolish, say something that's not of Yahweh, and people right there with you, agreeing with you. They there every step of the way, want to back you up with that. But every time you bring up something with Yahweh's word or the truth, or they don't want to hear it. And that's sad because the time is getting short. The time is coming to an end. And Yahweh is not going to be playing with this earth when that time expires. So, like I said, you got people, other nations, they even rise up and want to put Israel on the back burner. Want to put Israel to the footstool and say they are the real people. But isn't it so pleasing to know, you all, to know that where you come from, who you come from, and who you serve, And once Yahweh opens your eyes to the truth and show you who you truly are, all the things that the nations and other people say don't even bother you, because you know Yahweh is going to see you through all those things. All the things that you go through in this lifetime, Yahweh, he says, those that are humble will be exalted. See, the time is coming to a close, and Israel ain't always going to be down at the footstool. Israel ain't always going to be the last. It's going to come to an end soon when Yahweh puts his people up top. But I want to go through this message just to show that Yahweh chose one nation. He chose one nation out of all the nations on the face of the earth. And if you look at the map, the way he chose that nation is that black people. So we late in the game right now. So people should know that, okay, now we know who we are. You are the people in this book. We ain't so late in the game right now. You people are awakening to Yahweh's name, his son's name, who the chosen people are. But you know, you got the proud out there. They want to hold you down. Just from the very beginning of time. They wanted to hold back his name. They want to hold back you from being able to praise the Almighty Yahweh. But guess what? Yahweh sees all these things, and Yahweh is going to pay them back for all the things that they have done in this earth. Like I said, it's only a short matter of time left. These days, if we go through these days, you see they moving faster and faster. Time ain't that much time. So the world, they can continue to do their thing. They continue to show their pride and boast over the things that they have. But guess what? Those things are going to come to an end. This ain't going to go on forever. But this is Yahweh's mercy, his Hasi. Yahweh even have Hasi on other nations. He gives other nations the opportunity to have salvation also. But with their pride, they don't want you to have it. They want to be the only ones that have it themselves. And with that pride, Yahweh is going to bring them down. If Yahweh, and you never going to hear preached here, Israel the only one that's going to be in that kingdom. No, it's not just going to be Israel. Because Israel had to teach the nations. So it's going to be other nations that are going to have to follow Israel. And you don't want to follow them today? Yes, guess what? It's going to be a day where you're going to have to look up to lowly Israel, because they're going to have to teach you Yahweh's ways. So if you don't get it now, you're going to get it if Yahweh had mercy on you in his kingdom, like it or not. But let's go into Yahweh's word and prove what I just said. Let's go to the book of John. See, if Yahweh just wanted Israel to make it in the kingdom and nobody else, Yahshua HaMashiach wouldn't have gave up his life for the sins of the whole world. He would have just gave up his life for the sins of Israel. But he gave up his life for the sins of the whole world, so everyone can have an opportunity to dwell in that kingdom. But we know everybody is not going to be dwelling in that kingdom. We know everyone is not going to obey Almighty Yahweh. But that is the arrogance of man today. They don't want you to have it, Israel. They just want it for themselves. But let's go to John 15. And he explains why the nations keep coming up against you, why they hate you. John 15:18 says, if the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. See that? Like I said, it's tough. It is good that you all know Almighty Yahweh. Those people, those of you that know Yahweh, will do his will. Those that don't know him, they're going to do everything that Yahweh did not command. They're going to go up against you, his chosen people, and bring you down. But like I said, they hated Yahshua HaMashiach first. And Yahweh doesn't like that. You know Yahweh is not going to stand for that. If they hated his son, he gonna hate them also. If they hate his people, he gonna hate them also. So you have to pay for those that hate you. It says if you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. Like I said, you bring up foolishness of the world to people. They rather along with you, joking with you. They agree with everything that you say. But as soon as you condemn the things of the world and go about Yahweh's truth, they don't like you. It says, as it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. And then Yahshua HaMashiach, this is beautiful because he prayed to Almighty Yahweh and said, okay, I'm not going to pray for them to come out of the world, but I pray that those that are in the world that are mine, protect them from the evil one. See, Yahweh, Yahshua HaMashiach, he looks out for his people. He knows what each and every one of you are going through in this lifetime. So he is interceding with Yahweh each and every day for protection from the evil one, from all of y'all. Ain't that tough to know that you have someone like that that is praying for you to protect you from all this wickedness of this world? Now it says, remember the words I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. So if you following this way of life and you following the footsteps of Yahshua HaMashiach, don't be surprised if people rise up against you. If people want to argue against you, fight you. Just holding on to this truth. I'm going to show you later, even the apostles, they stood up for the truth. They preached. They taught about the truth, and people rose up, threw the people in jail. Rose up, they beat people just for saying the truth. That that is nothing of Yahweh. That had to be of Shaitan, because there ain't nobody in their right mind that is walking with Almighty Yahweh and they saying the truth is going to come up against them, beat them, put them in jail. But this says, if they obey my teaching, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me. See, they don't know Yahweh. So don't be surprised. People coming up against you, they are not of Yahweh. They want you to always be down at the tail. They don't want Israel to have nothing. Anytime you want to have something, all we want to do is to dwell in peace. We're not even bothering the world. Just be over here by ourselves, dwell in peace, and serve Almighty Yahweh so we can make it in the kingdom. But they don't want that because righteousness to them is terrorism. They don't want nobody to follow Almighty Yahweh's word. So anytime you do want to serve Almighty Yahweh in peace, they're going to make confusion. They want to distract, just like people on the channel. People on the channel, they come up every now and then. You preach about the truth. You talking about Yahweh's word. All of a sudden, is a problem. People want to always say, "Oh no, that's not what it is. No, you're not the chosen people." But we're gonna get into where it says who the chosen people are, and you can't go against Almighty Yahweh's word. Now, you can't get mad at us, Yisrael, who Yahweh chose. Go to Almighty Yahweh. Yahweh did the choosing himself. So if you have a problem, you have to go to Almighty Yahweh. But Yisrael, like I said, we can't get distracted. We can't let those things bother us because those things are going to happen. So let's go. It says, verse 22, if I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. Now, however, they have no excuse for their sin. See, even Yahweh told Adam at the beginning, if I didn't tell you the commands or what to do, When he went to transgress, he would have blamed Yahweh and said, okay, I wasn't told what to do, so it's actually your fault. But Yahweh said, I tell you everything. I give you the commands. So when you do transgress, it's not on Yahweh, it is on you. So you can't blame anybody but yourselves. No excuse. Now it says, but now they have seen these miracles and yet have hated both me and my Father. But this is to fulfill what is written in the Torah. They hated me without reason. Like I said, we just want to serve Yahweh and do what Yahweh commands, but they're going to hate you anyway, even if you doing Yahweh's will. They hated Yahshua HaMashiach. He was perfection walking the face of this earth. He didn't do no wrong, and they still put the man to death. That's sad. And he's not the only one. There's countless others, all the prophets, all the messengers that stood for Yahweh's name. They beat them, put them to death, stoned them. And you don't think they're going to pay for that in judgment? Yahweh sees all these things and they're going to have to pay. Now it says, when the Comforter comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Ruach of truth, who goes out from my Father, he will testify about me. And you also must testify, for you have been with me from the beginning. See, we have to all testify the things that we have seen, the things that we know, stand for the truth. That, like that song says, I will declare the name of Yahweh to my brethren. So we all must declare this. We must stand for this. We can't let nobody make us shut our mouths and not say Yahweh's name or give Yahweh his praise. We must continue to stand to the very end. Because he said, if you endure to the very end, you will be saved. So, like I said, we must be strengthened through who? Yahshua HaMashiach. He gives us that strength through his Ruach HaKodesh. Now, all this in chapter 16, it says, I have told you so that you will not go astray. Yahweh gives all the commands. He shows you the right road to walk. So you don't have no business going off the road. Yahweh he lays it out for you. All you got to do is walk there in it, and you will be fine. It says they will put you out of their synagogues or temples. In fact, the time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he is offering a service to Yahweh. That's sad right there. Thinking, okay, they doing the will of Yahweh to put you to death. That is nothing but the mind of Shaitan. But like I said, they put prophets to death. They put different messengers to death. They do this to Israel every day, all the days of their lives. It says they will do such things because they have not known the Father or me. And I have told you this so that when the time comes, you will remember that I warned you. So Yahshua HaMashiach, he warns us the things that you might have to go through in this lifetime. So you won't be surprised when those things come up. Because in the last days, like I said, these things are just going to intensify. You're going to have people all the more that's going to come up against you to get you away from the truth. Like I said, it goes to the beginning, even from when Shaitan was in the heavens. See, Shaitan was proud. Shaitan thought he was going to be over Almighty Yahweh. Not so. Yahweh had to kick him out. And the heavens rejoiced when he got kicked out. But he says, woe to the earth, the inhabitants of the earth, because he's down here now, wreaking havoc, going against you and I. So, like I said, we have to get strength from Almighty Yahweh, from that Ruach, because Shaitan can deceive easy. It says he deceived the whole world. So we must be in tune with Almighty Yahweh so we don't be deceived and led off the path. Let's go to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 9. 9 verse 23. Like I said, we should all be glad to just know Almighty Yahweh. We should all be glad that Yahweh opened our eyes to this truth and he is leading us in the right path. This right here shows you how you should be glad of that. Jeremiah 9:23 says, let not the wise man boast in his wisdom, or the strong man boast in his strength, or the rich man boast in his riches. But let him who boasts boast about this, that he understands and knows me. And we get that wisdom and understanding from Almighty Yahweh. We can't go off our own wisdom because our own wisdom is nothing without Yahweh. He said even the wisdom of the world is foolishness. But it says that I am Yahweh who exercises kindness, justice, and righteousness on the earth. For in these I delight, declares Yahweh. Are you glad that Yahweh has shown you the right way to walk, Yisrael? Come on now, he's opened our eyes to this way of life. So we have no business being sad or depressed. This is joy because this way leads to salvation. We're not being led by the world, Israel. We're not being led to destruction. This way leads to everlasting life. That's what we are striving for. Because that everlasting or eternal life, like we said, we want to dwell in peace by ourselves. That's peace right there. And it's going to last forever and ever. And that says, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I will punish all who are circumcised only in the flesh. Egypt, Yehuda, Edom, Ammon, Moab, and all who live in the land in distant places. For all these nations are really uncircumcised, and even the whole house of Israel is uncircumcised in the heart. See that we can't just go by the flesh all the time, Israel. We have to be a spiritual people. And you have to circumcise that heart. You have to want to do right, want to go away from your old ways and be a new person and follow Almighty Yahweh. Yahweh doesn't like that flesh. That's Shaitan. Shaitan always like to dwell with the flesh, the physical things. But Yahweh, he is spiritual. He wants us to be a spiritual people. He says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Yahshua HaMashiach. So we have to have that mind also to know what to do and what not to do. But he talks about in Acts 7. Let's go to Acts 7. This man was stoned to death just saying this to the people. But all he was doing, he was telling the truth to the people. But the people ain't want to hear that because, when you tell people they wrong in certain areas, they need to straighten up, they rise up and want to fight you. They did the same thing to this brother. But Acts 7:51, it says, you stiff-necked people with uncircumcised hearts and ears, you were just like your fathers. You always resist the Ruach HaKodesh. Was there ever a prophet your fathers did not persecute? They even killed those who predicted the coming of the righteous one. And now you have betrayed and murdered him. You who have received the law that was put into effect through the angels, but have not obeyed it. People got mad at that. They got furious at this brother Stephen and stoned him to death just for rising up and telling the truth and letting them know they were wrong. And they need to follow Yahweh and receive that Ruach HaKodesh. Like I said, Yahweh chose one nation, but Yahweh, he looks over other nations, give them opportunities also to receive salvation. I'm reading later how the Ruach HaKodesh fell on other nations because they humbled themselves and followed the Almighty Yahweh. That's all the world had to do is humble themselves and follow Yahweh. Guess what? Yisrael, he chose first. You can't thrust yourself in front of Yisrael. But like I said, Yahweh gives all nations the opportunity for salvation. But they don't want that. They don't want you, a black man, a black woman, to be head. They don't want you to be the chosen person. See, that's hate. Because all everyone had to do was be obedient to Almighty Yahweh. It shouldn't even be about the color, skin, and all this, but they made it about the color when they changed the color of the Messiah or Hamashiach. They changed everything in this book because they didn't want you to know this. And that's hate right there. That's hate for Almighty Yahweh. They don't want you to have the power to praise or pray to Almighty Yahweh. So that's why they held those things back from you. And they still doing it. They still want you to be held back from this. But guess what? Yahweh, right now, in this point in time, is opening more and more people's eyes to this. And unlike back 30, 40 years, right now, more people know about the name of Yahweh. More and more people know about his son, Yahshua HaMashiach. And more people know that this is them in this book. So Yahweh is going to open the eyes of his people regardless of who the world wants them to know. The world don't want you to know, but Yahweh, he has Hasid and shows you who you truly are, Yisrael. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Talking about Yisrael. It says Deuteronomy 7. I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, for you are a people Kodesh to Yahweh your Elohim. Yahweh your Elohim has chosen you out of all the people on the face of the earth to be his people, his treasured possession. That was Yahweh doing the choosing, not Israel choosing themselves and uplifting themselves. Yahweh did the choosing from the very beginning. So you get mad, you get angry, go to Almighty Yahweh about that. It says Yahweh did not set his affections on you and choose you because you were more numerous than other people, for you were the fewest of all people. But it was because Yahweh ahaved you and kept the oath he swore to your forefathers, that he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the land of bondage, from the power of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh, your Elohim, he is a faithful Elohim, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commands. Keeping his covenant, that's a bond, that's an agreement. Yahweh ain't gonna go back on this covenant. Yahweh ain't gonna say, okay, yeah, they getting on my nerves, they transgressing. Yeah, I'm gonna just put Israel aside and I'm gonna choose another nation to be head. No, that's not gonna happen. Yahweh does not change. Only thing that changes is man. Man is the only one that always change, go against Almighty Yahweh, but Yahweh, he will stay the same. And that's pleasing to know that you follow someone that ain't gonna change up on you. What Yahweh said, that's what it's gonna be. So if he made a covenant with Yisrael, that's what it's gonna be. So, and I say this, those that come on the channel, they seek to debate, they seek to think that they are the chosen people of other nations. Well, Yahweh could be having mercy on you to show you the truth. You found this channel. Yahweh showing you mercy to be able to see the true way of life, to walk in it. But if you continue to go against his people, guess what? Yahweh can take that away and take his truth away from you where you won't even know it at all. He can, Yahweh is, I want to say, so awesome that Yahweh, he can mess with your mind. That's why I'm not playing with Almighty Yahweh. We all shouldn't play with Yahweh because he's the creator of all things. He can do all things. And he can mess with that mind in such a way. where he give you a reprobate mind because you didn't want to follow in his truth. They even say in Second Thessalonians that turn you over to powerful delusions so you could believe a lie. So you don't want to mess with Almighty Yahweh because you continue to go against his messengers and continue to argue back and forth and debate. Yahweh can mess with your mind in such a way that you won't even know his truth at all. But he gave you that opportunity. So I said, when he gives you that opportunity, you gotta humble yourself and follow Almighty Yahweh. But verse 10 says, but those who hate him, he will repay to their face by destruction. He gonna meet you face to face. Those that hate him, and he ain't gonna do this far away. Nah, he gonna meet you face to face and deal with you just like that. That's Yahweh ain't gonna do stuff behind your back, go around the alley and talk about you. No, he gonna come right to you and meet you, and he will not be slow to repay to their face those who hate him. And when judgment comes, he ain't gonna take all day. He ain't gonna take his time and bring his wrath to the people. Guess what? When judgment comes, that wrath is gonna be swift, and he's gonna take out those that hate him. And you can't be mad at Almighty Yahweh. Yahweh gives people opportunity after opportunity, but opportunity after opportunity, people just reject him. So when that time comes to a close, guess what? We can't argue. We can't go back and ask for forgiveness. It's too late then. The doors are closed, and Yahweh is going to bring his wrath to get rid of all that hate in this earth. I said speak. He messing with the mind. Let's go to 1 Samuel. I want to talk about how he was with this one person, and this one person messed it up because he didn't want to obey Yahweh. And you all probably know who this was. He made this man the king of Yisrael. Even Samuel said, you were lowly in your own eyes at one point. You know, you didn't rise up, you didn't boast, you thought yourself to not be anything big at all. But Yahweh made you king of Israel, and you messed that up. And that saddened Samuel. But he messed up so bad that Yahweh sent even an evil spirit unto him, removed himself from Saul, and gave him an evil spirit. Like I said, Yahweh can mess with your mind in such a way he can take back whatever he opened your eyes to at any point in time. But let's go to 1 Samuel 16. I'm going to start at 16:14. Now the Ruach of Yahweh had departed from Saul, and the evil spirit from Yahweh tormented him. See that? That was from Almighty Yahweh because he did not want to obey. Time and time again, giving him commands what to do, but he didn't want to obey. He wanted to do his own thing. And that's what happened. So Saul's attendant said to him, see, and the evil spirit from Yahweh is tormenting you. It says, let's search for someone who can play the harp. He will play when the evil spirit from Yahweh comes upon you, and you will feel better. Now, there's something about that, the music, the instruments, it uplifts you. Don't you all sometimes you may come in, you're not feeling your best, but you come in and get praise Almighty Yahweh, play the instruments. Those things uplift you, Israel, make you feel better, get you in a good mood. See, that he needed the instruments to calm that evil spirit of his. But it was only because disobedience. So Saul said to his attendants, find someone who plays well and bring him to me. So you know who they found? They found Dawid. And he was pleased with Dawid, and he told him to stay with him to play the music for him. But you know what he did to Dawid. After that, he kept going against Dawid. He tried to kill the man. And what did Dawid do to him? Nothing. Nothing at all. He was with that man, but that evil spirit kept rising up and wanted to kill the man. And he even got mad with when he killed Goliath. And the people were praising him because he killed the tens of thousands of. So that enraged him because he looking at him like, what about the things I did? He looking at himself like, why you ain't praising me? You praising Dawid? And that just enraged him in such a point where he just kept going after Dawid. But Yahweh was looking over Dawid. Yahweh, Saul did not kill Dawid. Time and time again, he kept coming after him, but Yahweh was looking over Dawid. So, like I said, you got the world, they come up against you, but if you have Yahweh on your side, he will not let the nations bring you down. He will not let the nations make you fall, Israel. He will continue to protect you because why? Because you want to stay with him. You are seeking him and you want to have Yahweh on your side at all times. Let's go to Yeshaya or Isaiah. This is Isaiah 66. This is what Yahweh is looking for. Yahweh ain't going to dwell in someone that is disobedient, that doesn't want to follow his ways. He said, whose house? What is the house that you built for me? That house is this vessel, Yisrael. He wanted to dwell in this vessel. But if the vessel is not clean, he's not going to dwell in it at all. He's going to go to someone else that does seek him and have a clean vessel. Isaiah 66 says, heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house you built for me? It's not a literal house that you building for Almighty Yahweh. This is the house, the vessel. So that's why we must keep the vessel clean. Matter if it's the food that he tells you to eat, the talk that comes out of your mouth, the way you walk, all those things have to come into factor, Israel. You have to do all of Yahweh's commands, not just part of it. Where will my resting place be? Has not my hand made all things? And so they came into being, declares Yahweh. But this is the one I esteem, he who is humble and contrite in spirit and trembles at my word. See, that's what we're looking for, those that are humble. That's why I said, Israel, continue to humble yourself. Because, like I said, it says, whoever is humble will be exalted. And those that don't want to humble themselves, those that continue to exalt themselves, says they will be humble. Who you think that is? Those that he says that exalt themselves. Those that are in the world today above you. Those that are in the world that keep you down, that keep oppressing you, keep you away from all the things that you deserve. Those are the ones Yahweh is going to humble. Because they have a mindset, they're not going to humble themselves. They proud, they want to stay on top, and they want to keep their foot on your neck. And they don't want you to have anything. They keep each and every day making laws, rules in the book to keep you down, keep taxing you on everything, keep your wages down. That's the world. But Yahweh is going to humble them. But like it says, he's looking for those that are humble and contrite in spirit. So Israel, continue to be humble. Don't be proud. Don't just knowing that you are the chosen people. I see people, they rise up and yeah, we the chosen ones. They get all bold about it and thinking they all that, but you're not nothing with Almighty Yahweh. So you can't boast. You can't be proud. It's only because of Almighty Yahweh that you are in your status. So give him all the praise. Let's go to the book of Acts. This is Acts chapter 4. Now, I was talking about earlier how they put people in jail just for speaking the truth. Now, we go to Acts 4:23, and Kepha and Yakanan, they were put in jail just for standing for the truth. But when they told the people, they cried out to Almighty Yahweh. And 4:23 says, on their release, Peter and John went back to their own people and reported all that the chief priests and the elders had said to them. Those people that even went up against Yahshua HaMashiach. And when they heard this, they raised their voices together in prayer to Yahweh. Yahweh, they said, you made the heavens and the earth and the sea and everything in them. You spoke by the Ruach HaKodesh through the mouth of your servant, our father Dawid. Why? Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth take their stand, and the rulers gather together against Yahweh and against his anointed one. See that? Why they keep coming up against the people of Yahweh? They keep rage. They always want to fight. They always want to bring you down. But they hate Almighty Yahweh and his anointed one also. So they gonna come up against Yisrael. It says, indeed, Herod and Pontius Pilate met together with the Gentiles and the people of Yisrael in this city to conspire against your Kodesh servant, Yahshua, whom you anointed. They did what your power and will had decided beforehand should happen. Now consider their threats and enable your servants to speak your word with great boldness. See that? Like I said, you're not gonna back down from anyone that say we're not the chosen people. We're gonna step back and okay, yeah, we're gonna let you go ahead and take over. It doesn't work like that. We're gonna continually stand bold and speak the word of Almighty Yahweh in this place. And it says, stretch out your hand to heal and perform miraculous signs and wonders through the name of your Kodesh servant, Yahshua. After they prayed, the place where they were meeting was shaking, and they were all filled with the Ruach HaKodesh and spoke the word of Yahweh boldly. See that? Can't work. You can't back down. People are going to come up against you regardless. Every time period, people did the same thing. So in this time period, you think they're going to stop? No, they're going to keep doing it. But guess what? You can't let nobody deter you off the path. You got to continue to stand boldly and speak the word of Almighty Yahweh. Because Yahweh is looking out for his people. He ain't going to put you out there and speak the word boldly and then everybody come up against you and strike you down. No. When you speak the word of Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh is working with you. And like it says, that Ruach HaKodesh fell upon the people. So we had to seek that Ruach HaKodesh and seek more of it each and every day because that is the deciding factor that's going to carry us over. Now, I said earlier how other nations have an opportunity if they humble themselves. That's all they had to do and follow Almighty Yahweh. So if we go to Acts 10, that shows us how this is true. Man named Cornelius. Acts 10:1 says, at Caesarea there was a man named Cornelius, a centurion in what was known as the Italian regiment. He and all his family were devout and feared Yahweh. He gave generously to those in need and prayed to Yahweh regularly. One day, at about 3 in the afternoon, he had a vision. He distinctly saw an angel of Yahweh who came to him and said, Cornelius. Cornelius stared at him in fear. What is it? He asked. And the angel answered, your prayers and gifts to the poor have come up as a memorial offering before Yahweh. See, these things he was doing, they were pleasing to Almighty Yahweh. So Yahweh came to this man. And it says, now send men to Joppa to bring back a man named Simon, who is called Kepha. He is staying with Simon the tanner, whose house is by the sea. All right, so let's go to verse 30. So he meets Kepha, and verse 30 says, Cornelius answered, 4 days ago, I was in my house praying at this hour, at 3 in the afternoon. Suddenly, a man in shining clothes stood before me and said, Cornelius, Yahweh has heard your prayer and remembered your gifts to the poor. Send to Joppa for Simon, who is called Kepha. He is a guest in the home of Simon the tanner, who lived by the sea. So I sent for you immediately, and it was told of you to come. Now we are all here in the presence of Yahweh to listen to everything Yahweh has commanded you to tell us. He didn't go to that man and say, okay, now I'm going to tell you what Yahweh said. You listen to me. No, he didn't say that. He went to the man of Yahweh to hear what that man had to say. See that? You can't go against the people of Yahweh because Yahweh chose Yisrael. He is giving Yisrael the truth. That's why it says judgment will come to the house of Yahweh first, because they should know this first. They know this before everyone else. So this is what Kepha said. Then Kepha began to speak. I now realize how true it is that Yahweh does not show favoritism. See that? Yahweh ain't like, okay, nah, these my people. I ain't messing with y'all over here. I'm staying with my people. Yahweh ain't showing favoritism like the world does when they look out for their own. This is, but accepts men from every nation who fears him and do what is right. See that? Not being proud or arrogant and hating his chosen people. No, he looks out for those that fear him and do what is right. It says, you know the message Yahweh sent to the people of Israel, telling the good news of peace through Yahshua HaMashiach, who is Yahweh of all, Yahshua of all. Now let's go drop down to verse 44. After he spoke all these words to the people, it says, while Kepha was still speaking these words, the Ruach HaKodesh came on all who heard the message. The circumcised believers who had come with Kepha were astonished that the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh had been poured out even onto the Gentiles. For they heard them speaking in tongue and praising Almighty Yahweh. Then Kepha said, can anyone keep these people from being baptized with water? They have received the Ruach HaKodesh, just as we have. So he ordered that they be baptized in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. Then they asked Kepha to stay with them for a few days. See that? But that was only because they humbled themselves. They wanted to serve Almighty Yahweh with sincerity. And they went to that man to hear the word of Yahweh. And Yahweh, like I said, he was merciful and poured out that Ruach upon all the people. So all you had to do is humble yourself. But you're not going to go to Yahweh's people and take over. That's not going to happen at all. But like I said, you're going to have people in this earth. They're not going to humble themselves. They're going to continue to be proud. They're going to continue to do what they want to do. So even his brothers, the apostles, they went to Kepha and asked him, why you go to the Gentiles and eat with them? And he had to explain himself. But after he explained himself to them, they agreed and all praise Almighty Yahweh of what happened. So if we go into chapter 11, I ain't going to read the whole thing, but the chapter 11, verse 1, it says, the apostles and the brothers throughout Judea heard that the Gentiles also have received the word of Yahweh. So when Kepha went up to Jerusalem, the circumcised believers criticized him and said, you went into the house of uncircumcised men and ate with them? So Kiefer, like I said, he had to explain himself and tell them precisely what happened. Now, when I go to verse 15, it says, he told them, as I began to speak, the Ruach HaKodesh came on them as he had come on us as the beginning. Then I remember what Yahweh had said, what Yahweh Yahshua said, John the Baptist, John baptized with water, but you will baptize with the Ruach HaKodesh. So if Yahweh gave them the same gift as he gave us, who believed in Yahshua HaMashiach, who was I to think that I could oppose Yahweh? And when they heard this, they had no further objection and praised Yahweh, saying, so then, Yahweh has granted even the Gentiles repentance unto life. See that? Yahweh had mercy on the nations, on the Gentiles, because they humbled themselves and listened to the people of Yahweh. That's all you had to do. But like I said, Yahweh hates those that are proud. Yahweh will bring down the people that are proud. If we go to Proverbs, it shows us that Yahweh is going to bring destruction to those that are proud. Proverbs 16:5. So Yahweh detests all the proud of heart. It says all of them, not some of them. He says all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. See that? That's a promise right there. Yahweh says, okay, you're going to continue to be proud in heart. Okay, you're going to get punished for this, and it's coming. And that's what the nations, they don't want. They don't want their kingdom to fall. They want to continue to be above all. But guess what? It's going to fall. And Yahweh is going to put his kingdom up, and his standards are going to rule over this earth. And he will be the only one all the people will exalt. Not man. It will be Almighty Yahweh, who it should be, who should have been from the very beginning. All should be exalting him. But like I said, he got to get rid of all that exalt themselves now and are proud, so he can stand in this earth and be exalted. And guess what? When that day comes, guess what? Everybody in this earth will bend their knees. There ain't no exception. If you don't bow down to Almighty Yahweh and praise him, then guess what? You're not going to be in his kingdom. Let's go to Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, the eyes of the arrogant man will be humbled, and the pride of men brought low. Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day. See that? No one else but Yahweh. Yahweh Almighty has a day in store for all the proud and the lofty, for all that is exalted, and they will be humbled. For all the cedars of Lebanon, tall and lofty, and all the oaks of Bashan, for all the towering mountains and all the high hills, for every lofty tower and every fortified wall, for every trading ship and every stately vessel. The arrogance of man will be brought low, and the pride of men humbled. Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day, and the idols will totally disappear. That's a day to look forward to, when we can dwell in this earth and Yahweh alone will be above all. And like I said, Yahweh ain't going to show favoritism. Yahweh ain't going to be unjust. What he does is going to be fair for the whole earth. So you ain't got to worry about injustice in that day. You ain't got to worry about looking over your shoulder at man in that day to harm you, because that is going to be relinquished. That is going to vanish. Everybody will praise Almighty Yahweh. Let's go to 1 Peter. First Peter chapter 4. Like I just mentioned this, 4:17. For it is time for judgment to begin with the house of Yahweh. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the glad tidings of Yahweh? See, if Yisrael scarcely getting in, being saved, then what is the outcome of those that are outside that are disobeying? See, that's what I said. The world have to check themselves and look and humble themselves if they want to make it in that kingdom. But like I said, the world, a lot of people in the world, they not going to make it because they not going to humble themselves. They not going to look up to Almighty Yahweh. So it says, if it is hard for the righteous to be saved, what will become of the unrighteous and the sinner? Like I said, destruction. So then, those who suffer according to Yahweh's will should commit themselves to their faithful Creator and continue to do good, so you don't fall into destruction. And that's easy. Yahweh tells you what to do. All you have to do is do His will, and you will make it. What's hard about that? What's hard about walking this way of life? But a lot of people, like I said, want to please the flesh. They want to do their own thing. They're not walking in that ruach, that spirit. They're not looking at the ruach hakodesh. They just walking in flesh, and that flesh will be burned if we continue to disobey Almighty Yahweh. Let's go to Yeshua again. This is Yeshua 45. I'm going to start at verse 11. This is what Yahweh says, the Kodesh one of Yisrael and its maker, concerning things to come. Do you question me about my children? Or give me orders about the works of my hand? See, that's why I said the nations, they upset about who Yisrael is. But you got to go to the creator of all things that chose Yisrael if you have a problem with it. See, Yahweh say, who are you to question what he does? It is I who made the earth and created man upon it. My own hand stretched out the heavens. I marshaled their starry host. It says, I'm going to go down to verse 15. Truly, you are Elohim who hides himself, O Yahweh, and Savior of Israel. All makers of idols will be put to shame and disgrace. They will go off in disgrace together. But Israel will be saved by Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. And you will never be put to shame or disgrace to ages everlasting. See that? That's ages everlasting forever. Yahweh will not let you be put to shame, Israel. And he will save you, like I said. We had to just wait it out a little while longer. See, we sometimes people are impatient and they want this stuff to come right now. Please, Yahweh, just let this stuff end now. But you don't want to rush the day of Yahweh, like it says, because that day is dark. That day is not a day you want to rush. But what you want to do, just want to prepare your souls. So when Yahweh does come, you will be ready to be received by him. That's what we need to do. We can't rush that day of Yahweh. But like I said, it's coming. It's on its way. It's not too far in the future. So like I said, we have to get on Yahweh's side or we're going to burn in that burning lake of fire. But let's go to that Second Thessalonians, like I was talking about, when Yahweh says, if you don't love this truth, what he will do to you. And there's a time coming where there's going to be something on this earth that's going to want demand praise from all the people of the earth. And it ain't going to be Yahweh. It's going to be the worst of Shaitan. So if we're not in line with Almighty Yahweh and his Ruach, we fall right in line with the things that are coming on this earth. 2 Thessalonians, verse 9, it says, the coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with the work of Shaitan, displayed in all kinds of counterfeit miracles, signs, and wonders, and in every sort of evil that deceive those who are perishing. See, it says counterfeit. So these things are not going to be real, but these things are going to deceive the people in such a way that they're going to follow. But if you had that Ruach HaKodesh, you with Yahweh, these things are not going to get over you. You will know these things are of Shaitan. But it says they perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. See, you got to love this, Yisrael. You got to love walking in this way of life so you can be saved. If you don't love it, you just, oh man, this way of life, I don't know. It's just bear down on me all the time. No, you have to look. This is your way of life. And it should be in you. If you are Israel, it is within you. So his way of life shouldn't be hard at all. And it says, for this reason, Yahweh sends them a powerful delusion so they will believe the lie. And so that all will be condemned who will not believe the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. See, a lot of people, they don't delight in his truth, but they delight in the world. They delight all in this wickedness of the world. Like I said, you talk to people about things of the world. Oh, they dead talking to you about everything in the world. But when you bring up Yahweh's truth, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. Oh, here you go with that. But like it said, you gotta love this truth. You can, like I said, Yahweh can send powerful delusions. So people think they walking right. They think they doing the right thing. They thinking they walking with Yahweh, but they doing otherwise. And that's a dangerous thing, Israel. To be walking a certain way and you thinking you with Yahweh, you thinking you doing Yahweh's will, and to come up to judgment day and Yahweh says, go away from me, I never knew you. He slammed the door right in your face. So we have to be real with Almighty Yahweh and want to serve him. If we want to make it in that kingdom, if we want to see salvation, that's what we have to do. Love this way of life and do it to the best of your ability. He says wholeheartedly, not with some of your heart, wholeheartedly. Be sincere. But I end with this scripture to all the nations that they don't want to follow Israel. They want to keep Israel down. Guess what? There's a day where you're going to have to follow Israel. It's a day where Yahweh is going to beat down the inhabitants of the earth so bad they gonna come out and see you, how you make it out unscathed, how you make it out without a scratch, and then know that, hey, Yahweh must be with you. We gonna have to serve. We gonna have to follow you so we can serve Almighty Yahweh. Because all their idols, all the things of this earth that the people follow, those things are not going to save them. Those things are going to fail them in that day. And they're going to see the only one to follow is Almighty Yahweh. But let's go to that. Let's go to my closing scriptures, Zechariah. This is Zechariah chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 20. This is what Yahweh Almighty says. Many people and inhabitants of many cities will yet come, and the inhabitants of one city will go to another and say, let us go at once to entreat Yahweh and seek Yahweh Almighty. I myself am going, and many people and powerful nations will come to Jerusalem to seek Yahweh Almighty and to entreat him. See that? Many powerful nations. And it says, this is what Yahweh Almighty says. In those days, 10 men from all languages and nations will take firm hold of one Yahudim by the hem of his robe and say, let us go with you, because we have heard that Yahweh is with you. See that? So it's going to be a day where you're going to have to go to Yisrael and go serve Almighty Yahweh. But see, in this day and age, the proud, they don't want to do that. They want to keep you down, Israel. They don't want you to know the truth. They want to hide these things from you. But guess what? Yahweh sees all those things and he will repay them for it. And he will exalt you to your former state, Israel. He's going to restore everything in this earth for what it was from the very beginning. So aren't we glad of that, Israel? That's a day we can look forward to. So that should keep us going and know that there's a day coming where we don't have to suffer anymore. So that concludes my message this evening. And I just ask that we all stand as we go into prayer. Abba Yahweh, continue to watch over us all of your people, all that strive to do your will, to seek your face. Abba Yahweh, continue to protect us from anything the world may throw our way. Continue to have us in the mindset to strive, to do your will, to make it, to see your face in peace. Abba Yahweh, this evening, I ask that you place on us that shalom, that rest that we well deserve going throughout this work week. And Abba Yahweh, give us that rest and have us to wake up in the morning to be joyful, to give your name, you praise, just to see another day, just to see another Shabbat. And Abba Yahweh, may everything on your Shabbat be peaceful, joyful, happy, and place your Ruach amongst your people and place your Ruach amongst your sanctuaries all across the world. And don't let any amount of wickedness or evil to ever enter in. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.